In the 19th century, urbanization and industrialization caused the urban populations expanding. The existing churchyards, which were small plots within the cities, were unhealthily crowded. So the burial grounds began to be located outside of the population centers, which process is called the rural cemetery movement. The rural cemeteries were designed as attractive parks with a romantic vision, using architectural design and careful planting inspired by the English garden movement and picturesque idea. The first landscaped cemetery was opened in 1804 as the Purchase Cemetery in Paris. The rural cemetery in America was a development of this style. In the 1830s, three major cities in the United States established this later widespread and influential landscape type. They are Boston with Mount Auburn, Philadelphia with Laurel Hill, and New York with Greenwood in Brooklyn. The large-scale sites were carefully chosen for accessibility and natural beauty. The first rural cemetery in the U.S. was the Mount Auburn Cemetery, founded in 1831. Because of the growing popularity of horticulture and the romantic taste for landscape beauty, Mount Auburn was developed as a domesticated landscape. Its plan included the natural features like ponds and forests, together with the man-made roads and paths that followed the shape of the nature. And Mount Auburn quickly became a popular site for both burials and public recreation. Laurel Hill, the second major rural cemetery founded in the U.S., contains more than 33,000 monuments and more than 11,000 family lots. In addition to the model of Mount Auburn, it has more elaborately sculpted funerary monuments, including obelisks, hillside tombs, and mausoleums. It provided a place for the general public to enjoy the outdoor recreation with art and sculptures, which used to be available only for the upper class. And Greenwood in Brooklyn is a more vibrant cemetery embracing more public uses, such as holding music festivals. It's also an inspiration to landscape architect Andrew Jackson Downing, an early supporter for Central Park. These large-scale cemeteries in major cities of America inspired a long list of other rural cemeteries in the following years. The rural cemetery movement continued in the 1850s. By the time of the Civil War, almost every city of any size in the South had its own rural cemetery. By the 1860s, rural cemeteries could be found in the suburbs of the cities or even smaller towns across the whole country of America. Nowadays, rural cemeteries still keep the balance between urban and nature, life and death, and the function of recreation and monument overlap on this limited land, serving for the whole region. The rural cemetery movement is a response to the rapidly changing society. The original concepts of family, community, and religion were broken in the modern developments and movements, and the rural cemetery created a place to bound these concepts in a new way. Rural cemetery movement also impacted people's attitude toward life and death, with the concept of transcendentalism, which believes that nature can be a mother between death and life. This movement is a turning point of how humans face the phenomena of death. Instead of the dark, dirty burial grounds representing the dead, the beauty of the rural cemeteries celebrates the life. The movement made death more acceptable as people believed that their loved ones were surrounded by a pleasing environment, and people are willing to spend more time with their loved ones in this environment. Overall, rural cemeteries offer a unique space where life meets death, nature meets city, present meets past.